Having spent the majority of my life hating running, I never would have thought that I would have actually read a book about running, much less grown to actually love it kind of myself. But I did. And the book that I read was called Born to Run by Christopher McDougall. And to be fair, I read this after I started running, but it was really good. And there were two things that were really interesting. One was all of the sciencey stuff about your foot, the muscles in your foot, the bones in your foot, which that is not my expertise. I'm not going to speak into how accurate that is, how peer-reviewed it is. It was very convincing, but again, I'm not a foot doctor. But what I did find really interesting that I do want to touch on a little bit is this idea that a lot of these cultures that the book talks about where running is this massive part of the culture, running is not this thing that they're doing to get their bodies to be a certain way, or they're doing to lose weight or look a certain way or torture themselves. No, it's this community event that's kind of about the joy of being together and doing it together, and that's incredible. In part of me wonders if maybe the reason that there are so many people who were like I was like, or are like I was like, are that when we use running as this thing where it's like you do this to look a certain way, it is kind of torturous. But if it's about the joy of movement and running and being together and it's a communal thing, that's so much cooler. Either way, if you're interested in a book about running, I would highly recommend this one. It was a great book, and it may convince you, like it has kind of convinced me in the last few weeks, that maybe I should become an ultra marathoner. Because why not? Isn't that if we were born to run, shouldn't we all be running hundreds of miles every day? And yes, I realize there's a flaw with the, read the book. It's a very good book.